So in your balance of payment statement, a POP statement, you have three major accounts. Okay, the first and the foremost important one, we call it current account. Now this current account is definitely not the same thing as the ones that you get in a bank, the current and the savings account. This is not that. This current account talks about trade that a country is doing, which is basically the first account that you have in this one is called trade in goods. Sometimes with goods, they even use visibles. Okay, trade in goods के अंदर visibles, merchandise. Okay, now why do we say goods? Because there is another one which is called trade in service. So let's make a comparison of the words. This is called invisible. Okay, it's intangible. You can't touch it, you can't feel it. You can see it, like trade ho gaya, banking ho gaya. But goods are more tangible, they are physical, you can touch, see, smell, so that's why we're calling it visibles. So ये MCQs में trick करते हैं, so you have to make sure that you know this stuff. Now basically trade in goods का मतलब है that exports minus imports in goods, money coming in, money going out. Okay, so let's suppose the money coming in was 50 million, तो ये positive में आएगा, and the money going out was about 20 million. So basically your trade in goods is going to show a plus 30. We have to write these pluses, all right? Let's say these are in millions of dollars. Okay, so plus 30 in trade in goods. So that means we're exporting more and we're importing less. So if you're exporting more, the good is going out, but the money is coming in. So if the good is going out, that's bad for living standards, but money coming in, well, you can use that money for lots of things. Then again, so goods ke andar, let's just, like example, you have rice, you have flour, you can have computers and lots of things like that. And then trade and services ke andar, you can have things like the money for banking, for tourism. All right, so let's see trade and services के अंदर क्या हो रहा है. Export minus imports. So the services we have provided to the foreigners, let's say, is about 30, and services we've rendered from them is about 40. Okay, so this time we're going to get a negative 10 because trade in services is in a deficit, more money is going out. So many times they're going to use the short of it, they're going to include both of them together. That's called trade in balance. Trade in balance means the net effect of trade in goods and trade in services, so which is about 20 million plus ke andar. So trade in services is showing a plus 20. Okay, so that's trade in goods, trade in services. The third one is net incomes. That's the heading for it. Net incomes is talking about any sort of incomes that have been generated. So for example, if the people of the country have invested in some foreign shares, they will get profits in terms of dividends, or if they have some sort of businesses abroad, the profits, or if they have given loan, the interests. Okay, so you can receive these, you can pay them. ठीक है, ये दोनों तरफ चलता है. So if you're receiving the dividends, profits and interest from abroad, it will be positive, treated as an inflow, right? So in this case, let's say I say there's a plus 10 ka inflow from all of these things, and you will subtract outflows, whatever we had to pay. Now, the thing with globalization is that we invest a lot in the foreign economies, and the foreign economies invest a lot in our economy. So there's a multilateral trade that's happening. So let's say if some money is going out, about 5 million is going out, so you have a plus 5 ka net incomes. Okay, that's our third account. So incomes ke saath be careful. Me investing in a foreign economy, that's not an income, that's an investment. So वो financial account में जाएगा, which is our third account. But the money that I've invested abroad, उस पे जो मुझे payments मिलेगा, वो मेरे लिए एक income generated है. And the D1 is net transfers. Now, net transfers is that free money. Okay, you haven't earned it, you're getting it for free. There's no output that was produced. So for example, if an individual decides to send a gift, or an organization decides to send charity, or the government decides to give us aid, right? All of this is free money basically coming into the country. So the same thing will happen, inflow minus the outflow. So let's suppose the inflow is about 5 and the outflow is about 10. So we're going to have a negative 5 in this account. Okay, so this completes our current account. You added up. So far you have a plus $20 million, and this is called a current account balance. So your current account balance is in a surplus, and that's a good thing, okay, because you're earning more, so money coming in is more and you have money in reserves. ठीक हो गया. So but this is your first account, current account balance. Now the thing is that this is not the end of it. In O levels, current account was the only thing which was part of your course, but in AS and A2 you need to know the entire balance of payment. So that means we'll have to talk about the other two accounts. So let's see what's the second account. Our second account is the capital account. Okay, in the capital account, we don't record all those ongoing transaction on goods, incomes and free money, but rather over here we tend to record all transactions which are non-profit. Okay, and usually they are in fixed capital, which are geographically immobile. Like for example, if the country decides to purchase a land in the other country for embassy or for, let's say, military purpose, they've bought a land. So is kisam ki, because it's not for profit, the embassy is not for profit, it's for diplomatic purposes, and if you're getting a space for conducting a war against the neighbors or something or the other, so again that's not for profit motive, you have a certain duty. So over here you have like sale and purchase of real estate. तो इस टाइप का हो जाता है. So sometimes countries do buy other countries' monuments, um, for the heritage purposes and this and that. So khair, let's suppose the sale and purchase ke baad you're getting a net effect, so you don't have to work a lot. Let's say there's a plus 10 would be too much. Let's say you have like a plus 5 in the capital account. This has already been netted, okay? Inflow minus the outflow kar diya hai maine isme. And then the third account, which is the financial account. So the financial account records all the investments for profit motives mainly. So if you're doing like foreign direct investments, right, if you're giving loans, if you're buying Google shares for profit purposes, so let's suppose that's about like plus 10 for this. Okay, so I've already done the net inflow minus the outflow, and you're getting, let's suppose, plus 10. So far, foreign direct investments, foreign direct investments. Okay, so when we sum it up, let's see what do we get. When we sum it up, so far our balance of payment is showing 35 million US dollars of a surplus. That's great if you're having that, because every country does not have like a plus in current account and also pluses over here. So you have about 35 million coming into the country, which is a good thing. But the problem with this is inflow is greater than outflow. So more money is coming in than money is going out. From the currency point of view, the inflow happens when the foreigner buys your currency in the international market, and then they have to make you a payment, and so you get this money. The problem with this is that the demand for your currency arises. Inflow causes the demand for the currency to rise. Okay. Outflow causes the supply for currency. Okay. Now, if you know the basics of demand and supply, a rising demand makes the value go up. A rise in the supply makes the value go down. So your country's currency is kind of like a battling, that the demand is rising, the currency wants to go up, supply is rising, the currency wants to go down. So since the demand for your currency is greater than the supply for your currency, the overall result will be your currency is going to rise up in value. Now one would say even that's a good thing. Country like Pakistan, definitely that's a good thing, because we will be able to buy cheaper imports and stuff, and it will show a sign of a stronger economy. That's great. But a rising value has its own effects. For example, when the currency appreciates, foreigners will find your exports to be expensive, and that may, the word I'm using is may, it may lead to exports to go down. And since our currency is stronger, Pakistanis would choose to buy more imported stuff, which can actually hurt our trade imbalance. Okay, so our future trade can get affected because of this appreciation. And we don't want these appreciations to happen unless that's our agenda. The thing is, throughout the year, what we want to do is we want to stabilize our currency so that all investments coming in and going out does not vary. If people are going in and out for tourism purpose, they don't like fluctuating currencies because they want to be certain. The same way, when you're exporting and importing, you don't want so much instability in your currency, because then your trade import export can get affected and the pricing can get affected and it can affect your local prices. So those are all the consequences which we will learn, but the idea is you don't want fluctuations, and any kind of imbalance is going to lead to this problem. So how to tackle this? So if you have a plus 35, somehow if we are able to create an outflow of 35, the inflow of 35 will be offsetted by an outflow of 35 and our currency will balance off. So we do this in a special account which can be a fourth account, or it can be a part of the financial account, which is known as the official foreign currency reserves. Now this is all that extra foreign currencies that we have with the central bank or the state bank, which we can use for our future needs. Because, for example, in Pakistan, if we want to buy something from America, we need dollars. Now every time we cannot go to the international market to buy dollars. What we do is the state bank keeps a reserve of dollars, 8 billion, 12 billion or something like that, and we just simply use that until we run out of it. So if we're able to create a negative 35 in this reserve, our balance of payment will become 0. So 20 plus 5 plus 10 plus 35, and somehow if we're able to create a negative 35, that means we need to create an outflow of our currency, which is dollars in this case. So how do you create this outflow? You want your money to go out. That's how it will be going out. So you sell it in the international market. Sell own currency, and in return you buy foreign currency. Now since we are making it in dollars, so we'll say we will sell our own currency, which is dollars in this case, and we will buy foreign currency. Now whichever currency you want to balance yourself with, whether it's rupees, whether it's euros, British sterling, anything. So this is called an open market operations that we've just done, and we have stabilized, we've created inflow equals to outflow, and this will not fluctuate our currency.